story. I'm glad you're here. Um, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so when I go live and upload content, you will be notified. Check out my other featured channels on this page, like my artistry channel at that girl Shanda. Um, I have a podcast on this page. Link is in my profile. So, y'all, I just finished watching video of PCH and MALiBU. Um, if people don't know what that is, it's the Pacific Coast Highway in MALiBU. It's a really, really long road. Most people, are pretty jacked up if something happens to that road or if it shuts down. A lot of people, have a really hard time detouring because that main road leads to so many places. There's actually a history behind that road where back in the day, decades ago, the people that used to own the Adamson house, they owned a lot of the land in MALiBU, and PCH was a big part of it that they owned. And the city, the government wanted to open up that lane. They wanted access to PCH so that the road could go all the way through so that they could develop and build and things like that. And the owners of the Adamson house, they fought against the city because they didn't want that part of their land to be used, and they didn't want anyone to be able to drive through, towards where their home was. They wanted all of that to just be, they wanted to keep it privatized. Somehow the city got their way. um, how did it happen? I'm not sure if the husband died and the wife, eventually gave in. I forget how that part of the story went, but the bottom line is the city got their way, and they proceeded with construction of the Pacific Coast Highway to open it up, to make it run all the way through past Adamson House so that they could develop other residences and other industries and things like that. And here we are now, right? And y'all, I didn't know the magnitude of, I didn't know how bad it was on PCH until I saw that video. Um, and the reason why I'm like kind of emotional about it is because I lived in MALiBU for over a year, and a lot of the places out there in MALiBU I frequented when I lived out there. And so while the camera guy was driving up PCH, he was stopping at certain places and showing how it was burnt down. And one of the places he stopped at was the feed bin. And I was like, oh my God, the feed bin is gone? I used to go and admire the pottery there. I used to walk through. That was the place where people would come and get hay to bring to the farms for animals and things. It was directly across the street from 7-Eleven, which that was another place that I always frequented. Sometimes I would go get coffee. Sometimes I would just walk up and down PCH. I had my RV, but sometimes I didn't want to drive my RV. It was so big. So I would just kind of go for walks up and down PCH, mostly during the day, when I wasn't working, because it was right along the beach. And I always loved walking by the beach to Topanga Beach. As he went past the feed bin, y'all, the seafood restaurant was burnt down. And I was like, oh my God, I remember going past that seafood restaurant and it would be packed in the evenings. In the evenings, that place would be packed. Got very good business. And right next to it was this old motel area. It was dilapidated. It wasn't up and running or anything. But I always wondered, you know, what the owner was going to do with that land. I always wondered if he was going to like renovate the dilapidated motel rooms, because they were like individual villas, which I actually thought was pretty cool. What's interesting is that one time I was walking up PCH and I saw it, and something told me to just go over there and start taking pictures of it. So I went over there to take pictures of it, and I sent it to this commercial investor, this commercial real estate investor that I was talking to. And I sent it to him and I said, hey, the owner isn't doing anything with this land. It's just a bunch of little villas sitting on it, the Topanga Motel. You know, I said, maybe you should look into it to see, you know, if you could buy the land and maybe bring the motel back to life again, right? And directly across the street was this $20 million home that had a lot of apartments in it. It could have been like a motel, but it had a lot of different apartments in it. And I only know because as a real estate agent, you kind of go to different properties and you check things out to see, you know, what's hot, you know, how much something is going for. If you run into somebody, maybe you can tell them, hey, this property is for sale. You know, that's how real estate agents prospect for business. So I went in there because I wanted to see what it looked like on the inside. So in case I needed to report it back to somebody. And I took a lot of pictures in there, and I have them on my phone right now. That place is burnt to the ground, y'all. I was in there taking all these pictures, and the guy that was selling the place, he said, hey, you know somebody that want to buy this property? I said, maybe. He said, it's a $20 million property. You got somebody that could buy this property? I said, maybe. And I got so many pictures on my phone right now of that property. It is burned down to the ground. The seafood restaurant is burned down to the ground. The Topanga Motel, all of that is burnt down. The winery that I used to walk past all the time, burned down to the ground. The bait place where this guy had his little like shack set up where he would sell fishing products like bait and things for people to get to go fishing, burned down to the ground. Cholada is a Thai restaurant that I frequented when I lived in Malibu. Cholada is burnt down to the ground. I went there a lot. Sometimes I would go there just to pick up dinner. Sometimes I would just go eat in. It was a lot of Thai women that worked in there. They were very sweet, and they made really good food. I would get the drunken noodle entree a lot. It's burned down to the ground. So as he continued to drive down the street, recording everything, all these like memories was flashing in my head of me going up to these houses, frequenting these houses, taking pictures of these houses, admiring the houses. The ones that I admired, they're burnt down to the ground. There are some houses that are still standing, and it's so crazy because it's like when I was looking, I was like, damn, how was this house saved? And the one next to it is completely gone. It's so strange. And as he continued to drive down the street, all that kept popping up in my mind was, oh my God, is this restaurant still standing? I remember this restaurant. Is this the gas station still standing? I remember that gas station. Some houses across the street on the right-hand side were burned down to the ground. Excuse me. It was just really strange to see all of that. And then I was like, oh my God, is MALiBU still standing? I went to MALiBU a few times. I was like, is MALiBU still standing? MALiBU is still standing. I know the owner is very happy his restaurant is still standing. McDonald's is still standing. That liquor store is still standing. These big white apartment buildings are still standing. And then I started thinking, I was like, oh my God, is my job still standing? My old job? Because that was the only reason why I lived in MALiBU anyway. I worked out there. So I was like, oh my God, is my old job still standing? So as he continued driving down, videotaping everything, I saw that my old job was still standing. And I said, okay, so then my old coworkers are okay. And then as he continued to go past Cross Creek, because I used to work on Cross Creek in MALiBU, as he continued to go past, everything else seemed like it was okay. But it was just so, and I was like, is the Adamson house still standing? That's historical. The Adamson house? I was like, oh my God, I hope it's still standing, because if that burned to the ground, but I got so many pictures of the Adamson house. Of all I have so many pictures of the Adamson house. So if that had burned down to the ground, I was like, well, I got the pictures. They might be worth a lot now. But the Adamson house is still standing. I was like, oh my God, is the MALiBU Pier still standing? The MALiBU Pier is still standing. It's another historical mark. So I just was looking. I was like, y'all, I was out there. Do you know what I mean? It's just really strange to, like, when I go back to MALiBU to visit again, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be very different. And it's just strange to see a place that you lived at, right? And the places you frequented and the stores you went to, like, to see it just gone. And you were there not that long ago. It feels funny. Because it's like, what if I was still out there? Would I have got caught up in that fire like that? So I'm going to leave the link in the description box to the video that I'm talking about that I saw, because so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see how serious the devastation is out there. I didn't know it was that bad. It's bad. I didn't know it was that bad. And I know when people see it, they're going to be like, oh, that is bad. But it's different coming from a person that used to be there. Do you know what I mean? It's just different. Like, I see places burned down and I'm like, oh, that's so bad. Damn, But then when I see the places that I actually used to live and be and frequent and to see it just gone, it feels very strange. And it feels like I'm glad I wasn't out there anymore, It's fucked up out here, y'all. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Southern California is fucked up. And I didn't know that a lot of other historical places, like Altadena, I didn't know that was a historically melanated place. I didn't know that until I started seeing all these melanated faces popping up saying that their generational homes burnt to the ground. This 61-year-old man, he was like, I didn't live here anymore. This is my mom's house. But, we passed it down to the kids and the family, and we just moved other places. But, this house has been in our family since 1977. I was like, damn. A lot of them said that there was no response efforts in that area. And they said that they thought that it would be response efforts in that area. And if they would have known that it wasn't going to be, they said they all would have band together to try to save their homes. It's a lot of people without homes right now. A lot. And I'm just wondering, how in the hell are they going to fix this? Some people feel like folks with money, right? Rich people, wealthy people. Some people don't necessarily feel so bad for them because they feel like, they could just rebuild, or, they probably have property somewhere else that they can go to. And that may be true, but you still can't get back heirlooms, you still can't get back memories. A lot of people spoke about how their neighborhoods were generational. They grew up there. Their parents grew up there, There was community. If somebody got sick, somebody next door would go and get food or get medicine, or like they built their communities. And it's gone. Some of them said that they're not going to rebuild. They said, what for? It's nothing to come back to. It's going to take a long time to, like, the rebuilding efforts. It's going to take a long time. And I'm really interested in seeing how it's all going to happen, how it's all going to come together. I'm really interested with MALiBU, only because I know that road so well. So I'm really interested in seeing how that's going to come back. A lot of those homes were generational homes, and I only know because I was checking the real estate market, trying to see where I could get in, where I could fit in, And I discovered that a lot of homes were coming on the market for the first time in like 20 and 30 years. And I was like, wow, like what's making these people sell these houses all of a sudden? And they literally just popped up on the market, maybe a little over a year ago? And they were like, it was like they were trying to sell their homes and get out of California. That's why I said, and when the houses popped up on the market in MALiBU, I was like, damn, these houses are popping up on the market like these people know something. I literally said that. I might have said it in a video. I said, these houses are popping up on the market as if they know something is coming. And they trying to sell real quick to bid outs. I literally said that. And look, boom. And the houses are gone. And it makes you wonder, did some of these people know something was coming? I don't know. I understand things happen for a reason. I also understand there are no coincidences. I also understand that sometimes things are done for distraction purposes from other things. But yeah, so it was interesting it was interesting. to see PCH like that. I know when I go back down PCH again, it is not going to feel the same. It's not going to feel the same. And it's probably going to be a while before they have tourists out there. Malibu is a very touristy town, especially in the summertime. But I don't think this summer is going to be popping like that. Not like how it normally is. It be it be popping so much in Malibu during the summertime that the locals, I always heard the locals complain, like, I wish these people would just get out of here. I wish they would just go. I wish they would just leave already. Leave. We want quiet. I remember hearing locals complain about the tourists coming to Malibu in the summertime. They wanted them to go. They said there's too much noise. It's too crowded. It's just, they didn't like all the congestion. I guess they didn't like all the people getting in their way when they were going shopping and, you know, going to the beach. And I guess the parking spots were getting taken up, you know, a lot faster. You know, it's enough to go around, but, you know, some of the locals didn't like it. So I used to hear those complaints all the time. Wish they would leave. It's like, they bringing money to y'all town. I guess they said, we don't need the damn money. Look at where we live. I guess, whatever. See what y'all talking about up in her. Hi, happy rising. Hola. When my shitty unincorporated mountain community above Banning finally burned down, it barely made the news. Mountain community above Banning? What's the name of it though? What's the name of it? You said, oh God, not Nobu. Nobu is still standing. When the dude was driving down the street, I was like, oh my God, is Nobu burnt down too? I mean, you know, I went there a few times too. So I'm just saying, I was just curious if it burnt down, you know? Then I started thinking about my old job. Oh my God, is my old job still standing? My old job is still standing. I'm really grateful that this guy took the time to do this video of PCH, because I was wondering if all of PCH was burned. Like, I didn't know it was as bad as it is. It's bad out there. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. You said the culinary bases are covered. Hey. Do I remember you? I mean, have we met before? You mean like I met you? Remember you? Or just from the chat? Seeing Americans talk about history always gets me, like, I mean, look. Oh God. What's inappropriate here? I can't even see these messages. That's a damn shame. You want to see that? You go to OnlyFans and see that. But anyway, I mean, look, it is history. The Adamson house is history, but it's still standing. But even if it wasn't standing, I took a hella pictures of the Adamson house. They don't allow you to take pictures of the inside of the house, which they actually should allow people to do, because had that place burnt the hell down, who would have had pictures of the inside of the house? Maybe the people that keep the grounds, I don't know. But, you know, that's a historical place. I got hella pictures of the Adamson house. So if it had burned down to the ground, my pictures would be worth a lot of damn money right now. I'll tell you that much. Excuse me. I wonder if the Thai people at Cholada restaurant is going to rebuild. I mean, that restaurant is gone. It's gone. It's ashes. It's ashes, y'all. You know how often I went to that restaurant? They had some good food in there. And good Thai teas. Mm-hmm. They did. I know they probably sitting wherever they at, like, what the fuck? Because that restaurant was there for a very long time. I remember listening to the locals talk about how they used to go there all the time. You know, it was like one of the main eateries, you know? And that's why I started going, because I was like, oh, they got good food. They said they got great Thai food. You should check it out. And I did. And I checked it out again. And I checked it out again. And I checked it out again. Yeah, I frequented. Yeah, that was a frequent spot of mine. 7-Eleven still standing. Goodness knows I went there too many times to get gas. Yeah, y'all, PCH is it's something. That's something. I was like, is my favorite burrito spot still standing? It's still standing. It's still standing. Anyway, I just came on here to talk about that because I was devastated when watching it. I was devastated watching it. Like, tears welled up in my eyes. And I guess because I have a special connection to it, you know? So it's interesting. I can just about imagine what Santa Monica looks like. I want to see that now because Santa Monica was another stomping ground of mine, you know? So I'm wondering how Santa Monica is. Nobody is really saying much about Santa Monica anymore. They're not saying if the pier is still standing. They're not saying, you know? So I'm wondering about Santa Monica now. I was in Santa Monica heavy. I worked out there too. Worked Santa Monica, worked in MALiBU, and I hung in those areas heavy, you know, and both of those areas up in flames. Mm, 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 mm. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But we gonna see. But anyway, I'm not gonna stay on here long. I just came on here to talk about that. And if anybody is in Southern California right now and you're experiencing the fires, I hope everyone is staying safe. If you've lost any homes, my condolences to you for losing your homes. You know, it always seems like when things get bad in the world, like a major tragedy will happen that will unify people. That's what it seems like. When things get kind of ugly, kind of nasty, something major happens that's like tragic, and it usually unifies a lot of people. And that's what this is. Because a lot of people are going to have to come together, band together. A lot of people are going to have to lean on each other, help each other. Humanity comes back into play. It's like people needed to be reminded of humanity, of being grateful to just be alive, of being grateful to have each other, and to show that one person ain't no different from the other. This person is here, this other person could be up here, but this person up here could come down here with this person just like that, just like that, just like that. And then you on an even playing field, right? And you know what it feels like, right? And you unite. The humanity gets restored. So I'm thinking that nothing but good can come from this. Nothing but good. Because people are going to lean on each other and need each other, right? We got troops coming in from Mexico to help battle the fires. I think it's some troops that came in from Canada. But, I mean, it's Americans, ain't it? Some people might get mad if I say that. I mean, it is. Canada is North America. Mexico is South America. The United States is Central America. It's Americans coming in helping Americans. No? Yes? Right? I guess Mexico said, Trump talking about, joining us back over on this side, making us a state instead of a country, reunifying us and shit. Let us show him how unified we can be. Okay, Mexico. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Okay, Canada. Nothing but good can come from this. So let's see what comes from it. And I almost want to stay planted here and not leave the state because I want to be a part of the rebuilding of it, right? I want to be a part of it. I want to see what all comes from it. Firsthand, I want to see. So it's a lot of tragedy. Yes, a lot of tragedy. But let's see what comes from it. The folks out here that supposedly have so much money, let's see what they do with it. Let's see what they do. But anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to All Baddies Got a Story. Hit the notification bell so when I go live or upload content, you are notified. Like and share the videos so other people can see it. Check out my other featured channels, like my artistry channel at That Girl Shanda, where I have some original spoken word, original songs that I sing and perform, original musical compositions, and I also sing other artists' cover songs on that channel. And check out my podcast. I have a few episodes in my podcast playlist folder right here on this channel. If you vibe with it, click the link in the profile to my podcast and subscribe. And check out my other links too. If anybody wants to email me, I do have an email address in my profile. So you can get at me via email. Yeah. And if you want to donate to the channel, my Cash App is at Shanda Lux. It's up to you. But that's in the profile as well. I'm feeling very nostalgic. Very nostalgic, but very positive about the outcome of all of this. So let's see what happens, y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.